I ordered Thai food and accidentally started a neighborhood evacuation. Last Tuesday, I was craving pad Thai, but every restaurant was closed except this sketchy place called Authentic Bangkok Kitchen that just opened down the street. The reviews were mixed, mostly one-star complaints about weird smells and rude service, but a few five-star reviews that seemed fake as hell. I was desperate though. I'd been eating nothing but cereal for 3 days because I kept forgetting to grocery shop. So I called the number, and this guy answered on the first ring, which was weird for 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. Bangkok Kitchen, he said, but his accent sounded more Boston than Bangkok. I ordered pad Thai and spring rolls. He said it would be 40 minutes, which seemed long for a place 6 blocks away, but whatever. When the delivery guy showed up, something felt off immediately. He was wearing this wrinkled uniform that looked like it came from a costume shop. The logo was crooked and spelled Bangkok Kitchen, but the phone number printed on his shirt was completely different from the one I'd called. He kept glancing around like he was being watched, checking his phone every few seconds. When I opened the door, he practically threw the bag at me and said, "Enjoy your meal," in this super rehearsed way, like he'd been practicing. The bag was way heavier than normal takeout, like suspiciously heavy. I figured maybe they gave me extra rice or something. I tipped him $5, and he just stared at the money for a second before stuffing it in his pocket and speed walking back to this beat-up van I hadn't noticed before. No restaurant logo on it, just plain white with tinted windows. The smell hit me the second I brought the bag inside. Not regular Thai food smell. Something chemical and sharp that made my eyes water immediately. I thought maybe they used way too much fish sauce or had some kind of industrial cleaning going on. I set the bag on my kitchen counter and opened it carefully. The containers were the wrong type. Not the usual white takeout boxes, but these weird plastic tubs that looked like they came from a lab supply company. The first container was supposed to be pad Thai, but the noodles had this weird blue tint that definitely wasn't normal. They were also stone cold, which made no sense if they'd just been cooked. The second container was supposed to be spring rolls, but they were rock hard and actually smoking slightly, like visible wisps of something coming off them that made my throat burn when I breathed it in. That's when I noticed the labels were all wrong. They were written in some language that definitely wasn't Thai, looked more like chemical formulas or something, and the restaurant phone number I'd called earlier went straight to a disconnected voicemail when I tried calling back. I was about to throw everything in the trash when I heard my neighbor start pounding on my door like her house was on fire. "Gas leak!" she was screaming through the door. "Everyone needs to get out now!" But here's the thing. I work for the gas company. I know what gas leaks smell like, and this wasn't natural gas. This was something way more dangerous. I opened my door, and she was standing there with her 3 kids, all of them covering their noses with wet towels. The whole hallway reeked of that same chemical smell coming from my takeout containers. "It's coming from your apartment," she said, backing away from my door. "What are you cooking in there?" That's when I heard the sirens. Multiple emergency vehicles, getting closer fast. I looked down the hall and saw other neighbors evacuating, some of them pointing toward my unit. The guy from 4B was on his phone with what sounded like 911, describing the smell and giving them my address. My heart started racing because I realized whatever was in those containers wasn't food at all. The chemical smell was getting stronger, and now I could taste something metallic in my mouth. I grabbed the takeout bag and ran outside just as 3 fire trucks and an ambulance pulled up. The firefighters took one look at the containers and immediately called for hazmat backup. I was about to call the fire department when 3 cop cars pulled up, and officers in hazmat suits started marching toward my house. Turns out the Thai restaurant was actually a front for an illegal operation that had been mixing dangerous chemicals all week, and my pad Thai was contaminated equipment they were trying to dispose of. The delivery guy was arrested 3 blocks away, still wearing the fake uniform.